companies now have to take on people that are sick. So healthy guy, sick guy, okay? You guys are going to pay the same premium. But the insurance company's got to now cover you, so they're going to raise both of your rates, okay? So maybe you paid $700 a month, now you're going to pay $1,200 a month for your family. It's going up a lot. So when Obamacare came out 3-4 years ago, there were 5 companies in the United States that started something called short-term medical, and here's why. If you read the Obamacare law, it exempts a short-term medical company from having to follow the law. Meaning, if you're a short-term company, what short-term is, it's less than 12 months, okay? In California, there's 6-month policies, all right? So short-term medical is now blowing up in the country because insurance people know that on January 1, their rates are going to sky high. They're going to jump. But short-term medical doesn't have to follow those laws. But people are like, well, what is short-term medical? It's the same exact coverage that you have for health insurance, like you get your PPO, you get the same exact coverage, but it's a 6-month plan. So you have to, and only the way that you qualify, it's 7 questions, and it's, you know, have you had a heart attack, do you have HIV, are you pregnant? It's like kind of like the standard knockout questions, you know, type 1 diabetes, those types of questions, okay? Oh, sorry, the thing is, here, I'll get it. Shut it. Oh yeah, here. There we go, thank you. So they go to 7 questions. Now, this is the cool part about it, that this is, I mean, you might as well call it a loophole. So, you get 6 months of coverage. People say, well, what's the bet? Why would people, oh, one part I didn't say. Short-term medical is about 40% of the cost of major medical. So if you pay $1,000 here, you're going to pay $400 there. Now, people will say, well, why would I get major medical? Like, what's the downside of short-term medical? Well, if you get sick during the 6 months, you may not qualify for a renewal. Well, then I don't want it. But here's the catch now. Here's the catch. Because of the Obamacare law, you could just keep renewing every 6 months, but when you get sick, they have to now take you on by law. So you get sick, and then you go, okay, now I'm done with short-term medical. Now I'm just going to go back to Blue Cross Blue Shield and get my major medical. Because by law, they have to take me on even if I have cancer. So let me ask you a question. Think big, guys. Think really big. I'm thinking big, okay? You got United States of America, 330 million people. Right now, you've got 45 million of them that have no insurance, okay? Of which, 5 million of them will not qualify for short-term medical because they'll answer yes to one of those questions. So 40 million of the 45 million, starting January 1st, will have to get this. Majority of people, why do you think they don't have health insurance? They can't afford it. So now that they have to, do you think they're going to go to major or short term? They're going to go short term. We just, the number one, so there's 5 companies that do this, major companies. And the carriers are all A-rated, the plans, there's nothing B-rated about any of the plans. The number one company is called Health Insurance Innovations. Their website's hiiquote.com, okay? Quote.com. They just signed an exclusivity contract. We just signed an exclusivity contract with them, with PHP, to be their sole distributor in the United States, okay? This was last month. That company just went public, I want to say February 8th, last month, February 8th. They just did $100 million in their 3rd year in business. They got started when PHP got started. They're bigger than us. But we just signed a contract with them, and they said, listen, we do all of our orders over the phone and the internet. We don't have physical locations, so our overhead is very low, which means what we could pay to the field is very high. Now let me show you compensation on something like this, because here's what I believe is going to happen. Then I'll show you compensation. What's going to happen is when the rates go up for the people that do have coverage, I believe it's going to start going like this. People are going to drop out of paying for major medical and want to just go to short-term medical. Okay? Now, we're not talking like 1 million clients. We're not talking a couple million clients. You guys, we're talking about 50 million clients. I'm talking about people in Bakersfield. You're Mr. Short-Term Medical in Bakersfield. You're making $8 million a year. I'm not joking around. Like, I'm talking big numbers, not like little numbers. You're going to see people that make real estate brokers look like peanuts, like little, because this is a lot of clients, not like a few homes or something. Now, let me show you an example here. So typically, health insurance, the way it pays is, let's say a family pays $400 a month for health insurance. A lot more than that. I'm going to use a smaller number. okay? $400, it's not even realistic. They pay more than that, okay?
My mom paid $400 by herself.
Yeah, I think you're, look, let's just use, I'm gonna use 500, because I like to use examples that are low so people don't think it's like, wow, you're stretching it. You wouldn't even believe some of the numbers when you see these things added up anyways. So $500 a month. Right now, the way health insurance pays out, they pay about 5 to 7%. So what does that mean? They take 5 times 5, they make $25 a month. Okay, so you sell health insurance to somebody. Every month the person pays their $500 a month. The agent is going to make $25 every single month the person pays health insurance. So like when your mom pays $400, a person like me gets paid $20 every month, $20, which isn't bad. Every client, every month, $20, okay? But this is because they can only pay the field 5% because they use all their money for overhead, marketing, commercials, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, all that stuff. Short-term medical, let's just say that if it's $500 a month, it's not the same client, it would be less, but coverage is going to go up. What they do is they said to PHP, we'll pay you 20% to do this. Okay, we'll pay you 20%. All right. Now, what you do is you take. I want to annualize this because here's what they do. Not only do they pay us 20%, but they're going to pay us up front for the 6 months. So take a look at this. The $500 times 6 months is $3,000. Okay, so over the course of 6 months, they're going to pay $3,000 for their premium. Okay, that's 22 times 6 is what? 120. What is that? What am I doing here? 20%.
600.
Okay, like $600. Okay, so $600 is what the agent's going to get paid, but we're going to give them $400 up front. Okay, so agent does the policy. It's a 6-month plan. We give the agent the 400 of the 600 up front. They get the remaining 100 in the 5th month, and then another 100 in the 6th month. But check this out. So at the end of 6 months, what is the client going to do? They're going to renew. You ready for this? Brand new commission all over again, like they just sold a new policy when it renews. They're going to do this again in 6 months, again in 6 months, again in 6 months. Now, if they drop off their plan, then it just stops. You guys, did we just sign this? It's like, wait a minute. Not only in normal medical, you're going to give 5%, and you're only going to give it monthly. In short-term medical, you're going to give 20%, and you're going to advance it for the 6 months, which is 67% advance. Okay? So, and you're telling me that I could also build an agency that distributes this? Yeah. You mean in PHP's model, you could recruit an individual, just like in real estate, you recruit an agent and you're a broker, okay? But in our model, you could recruit an agent, they go do this, and you get an override income on the agent too? So why is Jason so fired up when he does presentations? Because he overrides Bakersfield, and Modesto, and Chicago, and Utah, and LA, and Pasadena, and Oxnard. Yes. And what are you talking about? So you're saying, how big is PHP right now? A peanut, you guys. A peanut. We are a little peanut. I'm talking, we had 1,200 people maybe at our last big event. 1,200 in the country. So you're saying, like, wait a minute, what are you saying? I'm talking about being in Facebook in year 3, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Google, the Apple, the Facebook of the financial sector. We have an opportunity to do that. Is that guaranteed? No, it's not guaranteed. We're going to have to recruit some really good people. We're going to need some leaders, some visionaries. But I'll tell you this, there's not one person in your market that you can't put me up against, and I'll school them right now. School them. And I don't care what they do for a living. I don't care how much they make. This is the best opportunity in America right now, and they cannot convince me otherwise. Put me in front of any single person that you know, and I will school them, including you. Everybody. Every single person. This is the biggest law that has ever come into effect. Obamacare is what everybody is talking about right now in America. At Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's going to be the only thing talked about when you're eating your turkey. What are you doing in your health insurance? What are you doing in your health insurance? Do you see what my policy did? Where are you going? Where are you going? Well, I heard Sabrina does that. I heard Ocon does that. I heard Sharon Leffler does that. I mean, they have an office right down there. Why don't you just go down there and do it? By the way, here's how an application works. Everybody in our company has their own website. So you go onto the website. They fill it in. You're on the phone. Here's how I'm going to do sales. Hey, Art, you want health insurance? Yeah. Dude, you need to get it. You know the laws change on January 1st, right? You know you're going to get paid